Welcome to Chronic Conversations, the podcast that brings a voice to the stories behind chronic symptoms. I'm your host, Katherine Rose, certified integrative health practitioner, founder of Reclaimable, and soon to be published author. After years of battling unexplained symptoms and finally getting a diagnosis of Hashimoto's, I turned my pain into purpose. Now I help women just like you feel seen, heard, validated, and supported through community, coaching, and connection. Each week, I'll share insights from my own journey, proven strategies I use with clients, and conversations with fellow experts and warriors. You're not alone, and you can thrive. Now let's get into today's conversation. Welcome back to Chronic Conversations. I'm so excited about today's episode. My guest is Megan McGee. She's a registered nutrition and dietetic technician, certified mind-body eating coach, and the owner of Nourish Nutrition Consulting. And I can't wait to dive in chatting with you, Megan. She has been in the nutrition space for over 20 years. But after her own experience with cancer in 2013, she shifted her work to focus on chronic and immune conditions, digestive health, and hormone balance. And also, what I found really interesting and what makes her approach so powerful is how she bridges the biology of the body with the psychology behind our behaviors, helping women move beyond surface level solutions and get to the root of what's really going on. And she's passionate about helping women reconnect with their bodies and find sustainable, personalized paths to healing. And we're going to talk a lot about embodiment, slowing down, and relearning how to listen to your body. And I can't wait. So without further ado, let's get into it. Where you're from, how you got into what you're doing, and just about yourself and what you do.
So my formal training, I'm a registered dietetic tech, and I'm also a certified mind-body eating coach. I've been practicing for 20 years. That kind of happened fast. How did that happen, right? But my journey into health, it's been my whole life. So before I got into college level, I knew I wanted to be in medical, but I wasn't quite sure where. I thought I wanted to be a doctor, a nurse, a massage therapist, a physical therapist. I kind of went all through all different realms. And so I knew I wanted to be in health. I just didn't know where. And then part of the journey is, as a kid, I was chronically sick. So I had chronic ear infections so bad that I degraded the bones in my ear and I lost hearing 3 separate times. My pediatrician also would put me on amoxicillin for the winter. So ton of antibiotic use, which therefore I had GI issues for sure. And I think I also had an undiagnosed dairy allergy. And especially with the ear infections. And so I had a hard time digesting proteins. So around age 16, I decided to become a vegetarian. And because I was really noticing that, growing up in New Jersey, we would have steak and pork chops and these just heavy meals. And I always felt bad afterwards. And so I became a vegetarian. And as I stopped eating meat, I actually started feeling better. But I was also a standard American vegetarian, so I ate a lot of quesadillas and pizza, right? And again, I think I had a dairy allergy. So I started to feel better without the animal protein, but at the same token, I still wasn't right. And so in my mid-20s, I just kind of had to check in with myself of if I'm going to stay a vegetarian, I got to figure out what it means to actually be a vegetarian, a healthy vegetarian. And because I was in some ways, again, feeling better. And in some ways I was also recognizing I just can't eat 2 slices of toast for breakfast and pizza for lunch and pasta for dinner. It's not working.
I'm I would add in French fries on that one.
So good. So good. So that began my journey. And when I finished my undergrad, I stumbled across my dietetics program and I was this is where I'm meant to be. And so have been in the world of nutrition for quite a long time. And then in 2020 is when I graduated for psychology, certified nutrition therapist, because I really just felt I knew something was missing in the work that I was doing with my clients. My clients seemed to all be getting better. They seemed to be doing really well for a period of time. And at that point, I was doing a lot of weight loss. I now specialize in autoimmune. So my clients were all starting towards their goals and doing pretty well. And it seemed like they were all just hitting a wall at some point. As a clinician, I always want to look at like why, or what do I need to know? What do I need to step into? And I just felt like the psychology piece was really missing and not being spoken to. So I've brought in that dynamic. And so now I like to language that I bridge biology and physiology with psychology.
Yes.
And
it's a great trifecta.
Amen. Amen. Because I like looking at data, and I like looking at labs, and I like knowing what's going on, like biochemically. Yes. But I don't think we can ignore the psychology piece of it.
Sure.
And especially now that I've specialized in autoimmune.
Yeah.
I mean, it's known that within 5 years prior to diagnosis, there's typically been some type of life event, life trauma, significant life, we'll say, experience.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think we can overlook the psychology piece.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. It's very important, and it's definitely overlooked for sure. And I don't have that piece of expertise, but I definitely encourage others to seek other professionals in that area to dive deeper than just the work that I can do with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love when my clients are already, for example, working with a therapist. Big fan. And again, the work that I do in the lane of psychology still tends to be very different, which I think is beautiful, of all the different ways that we can step into it. And so many I would say my practice is predominantly women. And so many of my women, I hear it all the time, they feel like they have so much information. It becomes too much noise, especially around health and weight. And they almost become deer in headlights.
Yes.
So much information. And one day something's good and one day something's bad. And I tried this and it didn't work, but then I tried this. And we take on more guilt and shame and feel more defeat with that too, because we're not getting where we need to go. And we start to internalize, well, there must be something wrong with us or with me, right?
Yes.
So-and-so can do that diet plan. I should be able to do it. They're getting results. I'm not getting results. Therefore, there's something wrong with me. So my clients, so often they've taken on more guilt, more shame, more self-defeat, because it's so noisy.
Y'all, real quick, before we jump back into today's episode, I want to take a minute to talk to you, especially if anything you've heard so far has felt a little too familiar. If you've ever felt dismissed, misunderstood, or like you're navigating your health completely on your own, I created something for you. And it's called the Kaya Collective. Kaya stands for Come As You Are. Don't worry, it's not another program or place just to get more information. It's a space where you don't have to explain your symptoms, prove your pain, or push through to just keep up. Inside the Kaya Collective, you'll find real conversations, support from women who actually get it, and tools to help you actually understand what your body is trying to tell you, but without the overwhelm. It's for women who are doing all the right things, but still don't feel right. The woman who's tired of surface level answers and ready for something deeper, and the woman who just wants to feel seen, heard, and supported. Again, if that sounds like you, I would love to have you inside. You can learn more at the link in the show notes, and I'd love to see you there. All right, let's get back into today's episode. It is.
And it's overwhelming.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can relate to that early on in my own health journey as well, being overloaded. But that reminds me of something that I had written down that you had said, I think prior to this interview, but it resonated with me so much, and I've included parts of this in my book and stuff. But how you said the body has an innate wisdom to tell us what it needs, and if something is wrong, but we've been taught to ignore these messages, to disembody and give power to the diet approach. Can you speak a little bit more to that and go also into the how we overschedule ourselves, and that's like we get praised for that, and it's contributing to, I don't know what the word is.
Epidemic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes to all of that. Yeah. So, and again, here's what I see and here's what I know. And I see it with my clients. And again, it's where I've put a lot of my energy. Through the years, we've been taught to give away our power. And it hasn't necessarily been overt, but we've been taught that the diet approach must be right. And we don't know the diet approach is right. We've been taught that our doctors are right and to not honor our needs. And I'm not dismissing our doctors, but you know, my
and not
doctor
to question.
Right. My doctor is right. The diet is right. All of these external factors must be right because I'm not good enough. I don't know my body. I can't trust my body. But just that, our body has the innate wisdom to tell us what it needs and what it doesn't. Our body has the innate wisdom to heal.
Yeah. It wants to.
It wants to. If we listen, that's the piece right there. If we listen, sometimes we need a little help interpreting the messages. That's not wrong.
Yes.
That's not wrong. But just that. Our body has the innate wisdom to tell us what it needs. And so when we've been chronically stressed, when life's been hard or challenging, we often disembody as a form of protection. And there's zero judgment to that.
Oh, so sure.
Disembodiment is really showing up just from our brain, schlepping around our bodies, and not honoring the messages of our body. And again, when life is hard, when there's been traumas, culturally, we have this idea, well, you just got to put your head down and go.
Yes.
And sometimes that's true. If there is a life event, a life trauma going on, sometimes that is true. Sometimes we just got to get through it.
Yeah.
I reinforce it a lot with my clients. That's not wrong.
Yeah, it's not.
The problem is that we get stuck there. It's not a long-term sustainable strategy. And as a piece of that, culturally, we get stuck in sympathetic dominance, which is that fight, flight, or freeze. And we've been taught to overdo. We've been taught to overschedule. We've been taught that we're only valuable if we have 30 things on our to-do list every single day, and we've got to check every box.
Yep. Yeah.
When we overschedule and we're just running from one thing to the next, we don't have time to listen to our bodies.
We don't. And we don't have time to feel or experience those emotions.
No.
Yeah.
And again, some of that's coping. Well, if I overschedule, I don't have to honor my body.
That's right.
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite stories, and I say this because it's a really hard story, but it's a favorite story because it just touches my heart so much. I'll give an example. I had a beautiful client I worked with several years ago. She was sexually assaulted. And as an outcome, she gained 100 pounds. She disembodied. She checked out. It was a very overwhelming situation.
Yeah.
And food became her coping mechanism. And food can numb us, where it can help us to check out when life is hard and life is painful. And remember that food is socially acceptable. It's available. It's everywhere, right?
Yep.
Like we frown upon too much alcohol. We frown upon drugs, right? But food is socially acceptable.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can go out into the world and find anything, anywhere, on any corner, right?
Yeah.
And so my heart just really felt so called to work with that client because I honored that she gained the 100 pounds because of the severe stress. And it wasn't about just changing her diet. Oh, you've got to follow this diet to lose the weight. That was actually the least of the work.
Yeah.
The work was stepping back into her listening to her body, trusting her body, working through the grief, the guilt, the shame of the trauma. Learning to make peace with her body, learning to make peace with food.
Yeah.
That was the work, not here's your diet plan and just diet, restrict, deprive, count your calories, work out harder.
Yeah.
And that becomes so much where my passion is now of how do we fight the expectations of the world of overdoing and overscheduling? How do we carve out time to slow down?
Yeah.
How do we take time to listen to the messages? How do we, for some of my clients, they can't hear the messages of their body anymore. It's been so many years of ignoring their bodies. They don't hear the messages.
Yeah.
So how do we step back into being able to listen to our bodies and honor the bodies? You know, I'll give you another example. Very strangely, in 2024, I had a multitude of clients come to see me who had been doing intermittent fasting and keto.
Okay.
And they've been doing at least intermittent fasting with dabbling in the keto world, but also intermittent fasting again for about 2 years, all of them. Okay. They all felt terrible, yet they kept doing intermittent fasting because that's the buzz and that's what's right. The diet must be right. And then I was diagnosing them all with diabetes.
Wow.
And so the intermittent fasting backfired.
Sure. Yeah.
Which I don't think intermittent fasting is bad. I think not every diet is right for everybody. Every day, right? Yeah. But again, every single one of those clients, and I had a huge population of those clients showing up.
Yeah.
Every single one of them was ignoring the messages of their body. I don't feel good. Giving the power to the diet, intermittent fasting must be the right thing. I don't know my body. I don't know.
Yeah.
And yet I diagnosed every single one of those with patients with diabetes. And
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. The patients, I say clients for me, they're patients for you. For your patients, can you kind of, you don't have to go in detailed step by step, but can you walk through how you get your patients to start noticing the signals their bodies are giving them if they're not in touch?
Yeah, that's a great question. And there's a lot of strategies, and I try to tailor it person to person. Mm-hmm. The first step I want to do is get a good sense of a person's current lifestyle. I'm going to say it this way, where they're overdoing, where they're over pushing, where they're feeling more challenged, and then start creating different strategies to help step into that. So I think there's a difference, for example, if it's, let's say it's the busy mom who's not taking time to eat and she's just drinking 4 cups of coffee through the course of the day to have energy.
Yeah.
Or let's say it's the person who is working all day, comes home, the kids, family life, etc., and then 9 o'clock at night is looking for the ice cream and feels like, oh, every day I tell myself I'm not going to eat the ice cream, but I keep eating a pint of ice cream every night, right?
Yeah.
It's looking into those individual experiences of where we feel like we're struggling. And a huge piece of it, I would say across the board, doesn't necessarily matter what the challenge is, but I think the biggest piece is encouraging my clients to slow down.
Yeah.
Because that's part of it. We're still, even when we get home at the end of the day, after a busy day, we're still in this, well, I got to do dishes. I got to do laundry. I got to get kids
oh my gosh.
Yes. Right? Like we're still spinning, right?
Yeah.
And then again, food often becomes the replacement. It becomes the fill in. It becomes the numbing. It becomes the stress management. It becomes the best friend. It becomes everything else but necessarily nourishment. And so slowing down, I think, is so key. I would say that's one of the biggest pieces. Slowing down and taking time. So, for example, let's say that someone is really struggling at night, and at night they're having a nighttime snack every night, and it's usually more sugary, and they're really struggling, and I hear it all the time. Megan, I keep telling myself, gosh, if I had willpower, I wouldn't eat the ice cream or the cookies every night. But here I am again, standing over the kitchen sink, shoving down 6 cookies. And, if I shove it down over the sink and there's no crumbs and there's no plates and there's no evidence then it didn't happen, right?
Yep.
So one of the strategies that I offer to my clients is great. If that's like, let's not just say no cookies, no ice cream. Let's pause for a minute. I want you to get a serving of whatever it is you're going to eat.
Yeah.
I want you to go sit down. Go sit in your favorite comfy chair, on the couch, at the table, whatever. Go find a comfy spot. If it helps, set a timer for 10 minutes. Because that gives us a beginning and an end, so we don't feel so, out of control. Oh, I'm wasting all this time, right? And I want you to sit there and I want you to savor every stinking bite. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I want you to take some deep breaths. I want you to connect with what you're actually eating. Yeah. Savor it. Get the stress relief out of it.
Right. And just like whatever we're doing, we're going so fast, we're going to eat so fast. And before we won't enjoy it. It just goes in. So then you get 10 at a time instead of enjoying that, whatever the serving size is. Yeah.
Yeah. And for most people, as we start to practice some of these skills, it does start to shift and it does start to soften. Yeah, I had the cookies, but I had 3 and I savored every bite and I felt a sense of relaxation and I didn't feel guilt or shame.
That's great. Yeah.
And I
And that can
ate
happen.
and I ate the 3 cookies and then that was that. I didn't need to eat the entire box of cookies
Yeah.
because I actually connected my brain to my belly, the sensory piece of it, the stress relief component of eating. I ate the 3 cookies. It did give me some relief. I enjoyed the cookies. I felt a little sense of relaxation. Again, I didn't feel guilt and shame. And that becomes the double-edged sword too. We eat the thing and then we feel worse even after because now we have the guilt and shame that I wasn't going to do it. And it becomes this awful hamster wheel.
Yes. And it has to do with dopamine as well, too, right? It gives a little hit of dopamine.
Absolutely. So one of my foundational feelings around food is that food is neutral. It's neither good nor bad.
Yes.
The dose makes the poison. That's one of my favorite sayings, right?
That's a good one.
Yeah. So if someone's like, my favorite meal is McDonald's, well, great, have at it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't necessarily want you going to McDonald's 3 times a day every day. That's probably not going to be the best option. But if that's your favorite thing, great, go enjoy it. Super. But again, I want you to connect with it and savor it and not walk away feeling more guilt and shame.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the strategies aren't around this embodiment and mind-body eating. It's not about deprivation, because that's also so much if we've been in the conversation around weight, it's, diet, restrict, deprive, you can't have, these foods are bad.
Yep.
And I think we have to break up with that model of food is not per se good or bad, right or wrong. It's neutral. It is the dose that makes the poison. And again, part of the work that I do is how do you feel? So if you go to McDonald's and an hour later you feel fine, great. But if you go to McDonald's and an hour later and for the rest of the day you're miserable, I had a headache, my belly was a mess, I wanted to take a nap, I felt gross. Well, that's the embodiment piece. How did it work for you? It didn't.
Yeah. Would you say that our body's signals or the cravings are giving different signals and trying to communicate? I know you are, but trying to communicate something to us. And, I can tell when I'm stressed, I'll crave something like sweet or salty or whatever. But I know other people, if they need comfort, they will crave certain things, and just our body's giving us signals that we need comfort, we need pleasure, we need, stress relief. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. And this is also where I dig in, and because there's a lot of considerations here. And this conversation can have a biology side and a psychology side.
Yeah.
So from the biology side, my brain always goes back to the conversation around blood sugar. Are we fueling through the day in a nourishing way? Are we giving our body what it needs? Are we getting enough food? Are we eating frequently? Are we getting high quality, clean foods, proteins, veggies, nutrient dense foods?
Yeah.
Because if we're not eating during the day or we're not getting enough nutrition for the day, from a biological perspective, the body's going to raise its hand and say, feed me.
Yes.
And usually that happens at 9:00 at night.
Right.
Okay. So there's a biology conversation. So I always want to sit with that because, again, if we're not fueling during the day properly, we're going to crave more. It's the biological response. And our body doesn't say, hey, I need chicken and broccoli. The body says, where's the ice cream?
And quick glucose, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
From the psychology side, and again, this is where I work so closely with my clients, is around what's going on. So Katherine, you said it really well, of the pleasure component. So as human beings, we are designed to seek pleasure. We are designed to avoid pain.
Yeah.
And I define pain even as the rat race. I got up at 5 a.m. I ran all day long. Now it's 9:00 at night. It's the first time I'm coming up for air and can catch my breath. In my mind, that's pain. We're not supposed to sustain that pace. And for many of us, it's reality. It's every day. So it makes perfect sense that by the time we get to the end of the day, we're looking for comfort. We're looking to soothe.
Yeah.
Again, that's not wrong. But what I then want to do to support my clients is, how can we get moments through the day of stress management, of soothing and comfort? Again, how can we slow down just even a few minutes here or there through the day? What are strategies we can implement at the end of the day when we get home that we feel a little sense of self-care and soothing, but it doesn't always translate to food? So for example, sometimes I'll share with my clients, when you get home from work and you go to change out of your work clothes and you're putting on your comfies for the nighttime, can you take 5 minutes in that transition? Can you get a really nice peppermint foot lotion? Can you massage your feet and calves for just a couple minutes? Take some deep breaths. Can you make sure and put on some snuggly clothes that really feel good? Especially in the winter months, like, can you put on your favorite cozy pajamas that just feel like a warm hug?
Yeah.
Can we take that transition and be conscious and intentional, not, oh gosh, I just got to go change my clothes because I got to start dinner and then I got to, right? We're already on to the, we're 6,000 steps ahead, right?
Yes.
So just taking those moments back, that those transitions can make a huge difference. Wow, that just, I felt like I just was able to recenter myself, ground myself, be present to move into my nighttime routine. And the more we implement these different strategies through the day, it can make such a difference that we decrease our cravings and we don't need to cope and soothe with food.
Right. And it can make such a difference too to our brains if we over time, and I'm no expert in this, but are consistent with that. And it will become a habit and you will start to look forward to it.
Yes.
It should happen that way. Like at night, I use my red light. And I was like, I don't have time to do that. I'm in bed. Yes, you do. Right. You have time. Like that's, and so I've started, I'm like, if I'm going to be consistent with something at this time, this is what it's going to be. And I'm going to do it no matter what. And I have. And now I've started to, I look forward to it. It's like, it's a time for me. That's my time to shut off and not like emotionally or anything, but just chill out.
Yes. Slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
That's an accomplishment for me.
Yep. My other favorite strategy that is, I'm going to say on the cusp of food, but I still feel really good about it, is drinking tea. And whether that's during the day, whether that's at nighttime, but I think it's really the ritual. Yes. I go turn on the teapot. I get out my favorite mug. I have a tea bag that smells good, that as I pour the hot water, I have that aroma.
Yes.
That scent.
What's your favorite nighttime tea?
I do like a sleepy time tea, but usually I tend to, like during the day, right now I actually still have a winter one. I have a peppermint that's really enjoyable. I like mint. Or
I like peppermint too.
Sometimes I'll play with like a lemon, something lemon based. So those are some of my favorites. But yeah, again, it's just the ritual. Again, it's the consciousness. There's a key piece of it. It's the consciousness. But it's such a simple ritual, making the tea.
Yeah.
But then it's holding the tea. It's smelling the aroma.
And the warmth.
It is like a warm hug.
It's cozy. It's
yes.
cozy. I'm feeling cozy. Just
right? Yeah. And if you're not a tea person, figure out something that gives you that experience. But it is like a warm hug. And it's also about just taking 5 minutes to make the tea and to slow down.
Yep. That's so good. I'm like, you're making me want to slow down. And your voice is so calm. Okay, I'll slow down.
Just slow down. Yes.
Slow it. I think that, I know this has to do with what we've just been talking about, taking back your power, but you mentioned we've been taught to give away our power. Can we talk a little bit about what it looks like to take that back? I think some of the things that we have talked about probably have to do with that, but dive into that a little more.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, that's a juicy question. There's so many things to think about within that. But
loaded question.
Yes. One of my biggest wishes for my clients, for the community, is to come up with a new way to create peace with food and peace in our bodies.
Yeah.
That is not easy work and that is not easy conversation. But the more we continue to struggle around food, I should eat this, but I'm not eating this. I'm bad because I didn't. I'm failing. I should. Now I have guilt and shame. Food becomes the enemy. Our bodies become the enemy.
Yes. And loving yourself is
Yes.
hard, and not realizing that, oh, do I?
Yes.
But knowing that and believing that, I think, is a helpful piece.
Yeah, you bet. And this is what I believe it looks like to take back our power.
Mm-hmm.
To take back our power in my mind means making peace with food,
Mm-hmm.
quieting all the noise, the anxiety, the chatter, the self-sabotage, the self-attack, the guilt, the shame. Mm-hmm. So creating that relationship with food, creating a new relationship in our bodies of loving our bodies without the but or the if only.
Yeah.
Right? Again, it's not easy work, but our bodies are the vehicles that we are in for our entire lives. So as many days as we are on this planet, and if we are constantly carrying guilt and shame and self-attack and self-harm and a lack of self-love, that's a lot of years of pain.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, it's not easy work, but the other kind of dynamic that I think of around this is that if we consider food to be the bully, well, food is the reason I gained weight. Food is the reason I don't feel good.
It's not the root.
I don't understand food, so I don't want to, spend time with it. So I got to shove it down. I mean, think about it. Go back to grammar school. If there was a bully in class, did you want to sit next to the bully at lunch every day? Did you want to make friends with the bully, or did you want to avoid the bully as much as possible?
Sure.
But energetically, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We can't avoid food. Food is nourishment. We can't avoid it.
Right.
And if we feel a constant conflict around it, and we're putting that energy into our bodies, I'm eating this. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know if I should or should not be eating this. I think I shouldn't be eating it, but I am. So therefore I'm bad.
Right.
There's an energy behind all of that. And we're putting that into our bodies, which I think only then brings us more stress into the body.
Yeah.
And I believe emotions impact biology.
Oh, yeah.
Now all of a sudden we have the health condition.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And whether that health condition is, let's say, depression and anxiety, kind of more mental health, mental well-being, or whether it's more physical. Again, 90% of my practice is autoimmune.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's a long road if our lifetime is always feeling conflicted around, should I eat? Should I not eat? What should I eat? This is good. This is bad.
Yeah. On the path for your patients, clients, on the path to finding peace with food and their bodies, I'm sure it's tailored to each person and what their specific battle is. But what tips would you give listeners if they're trying to find this peace? Other than being able to work with you, what's their first step they can take?
I'm going to say there's 3 steps that I think are, I'm going to say simple. They're not simple because they're not always easy to implement. They're simple as far as concepts. Okay. Mm-hmm. The first concept is slowing down.
Yes.
Again, simple concept, not easy to implement.
Sure. Yeah.
But again, as a culture, we've moved into this overdoing and overscheduling.
Yep.
That might be some work to play with, is evaluating, are all the things you're doing in a day supporting your values as maybe an individual or as a family? What are our values? Are they allowing us to live authentically? Yeah. Are we doing things that are bringing us joy? Are we doing things that we feel like we just should do? That again, it's just simply bringing more stress.
Yeah.
But maybe we need to let some of these things go so that we have the time to slow down. And when I say slow down, I mean we're taking moments. I have 15 minutes here. I have 20 minutes there. I'm not saying like, oh, every day I need 4 hours to just lay on the couch. So I want to be clear of my language as we talk about slowing down. Yeah. Right? Can I sit down for 20 minutes and eat a lunch and just eat a lunch?
Yeah.
Not do 6 other things at the same time. Mm-hmm. So again, I want to be careful of my language with slow down, right?
Yeah.
The second strategy, which easy as a concept, not always easy to implement, is breathe.
Yeah.
Research proves that deep breathing is the number one way to turn down cortisol, our stress hormones.
Yeah.
Deep breathing is the number one way to move out of sympathetic dominance, fight, flight, or freeze, and move into parasympathetic, rest, digest, and heal. And yet, because we're so busy, our breath is so shallow, we're not having deep, rhythmic, diaphragmatic breathing.
Right.
I always talk about the idea of there's a bear chasing us. We have moved into a culture because of our pace. I got to go, I got to do, I got to, do more. It's as if there's a bear chasing us.
Yeah. Well, might as well be, because the body doesn't know the difference between stress is stress to the body.
Stress is stress.
And we're putting it in that mode. So there might as well be a bear.
Yeah, absolutely. So think of that analogy. I mean, think about your day and pretend that there's a bear like right behind you all day long, because that's really what's happening cellularly and hormonally.
Yeah.
Think about how we function then. I got to get this done. I got to go. I got to move here. We're frantic.
Yes, we're frantic. And it's not funny. Frantic. It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. So deep breathing, again, is the number one way to signal to the body that we're safe. There is not a bear chasing us.
Yeah.
We can move into parasympathetic, rest, digest, and heal. And here's the good news about breathing. It doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't.
And you can do it strategically through the day at any time. Yeah.
You can set timers or alarms on your phone. I was talking on an episode yesterday with somebody, I said how I used to have that on my phone. I'm like, add it back 3 times a day. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. We feel like sometimes strategies take time away from us, and many of these strategies actually give time back to us. So imagine that every morning you push back from your desk or whatever you're doing, you close your eyes for 2 to 5 minutes and you practice some deep breathing, and you did it, same thing in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, push back 2 to 5 minutes. Those pauses actually allow your brain to calm down so that you're actually more productive, more focused, clearer, sharper, actually able to get more things done. Because usually when it's like we're the Tasmanian devil. I got to do this, and then I got to do that, and then I got to do this, right? And we're so overwhelmed that we're not really getting things done, or we're not really getting things done to the level of completion that we need to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
My third takeaway, or my third strategy, is trust your body wisdom. Again, not easy, because we've been taught to give away our power and to not honor the messages. But maybe that's a practice. I mean, even if it's every night you keep a little journal on your nightstand, and every night you do a little, like, I'll call it symptom log. How did I feel today? Did I have energy? Did I have tummy issues? Did I have a headache? Did I feel stress in my shoulders or in my back?
Yeah.
Those symptoms can give us a lot of information. And so trust your body wisdom. We have to get out of this, I just put my head down and go, and it doesn't matter what, I have a migraine, but I still got to go to work and do all the things. I sat down in my desk chair and immediately my low back started to hurt, but I sat in my chair for 3 hours and didn't move.
Yes. And I feel like, to the diet industry, we've been trained to ignore the signals and messages that our body's trying, like, help curb cravings with X, Y, and Z. Like they're bad, but they're actually our body's trying to communicate with us.
So trusting your body wisdom and being curious and asking questions. Sometimes I think there's a lens of also fighting for it, meaning that, like, if you've been to your doctor and they've run some labs and they're telling you everything's fine, but you don't feel good.
Yep.
Don't let that be the end of the conversation.
Nope.
Keep going. Keep asking questions. Keep exploring.
Yep. And you have the right to.
Yeah. Don't let someone else tell you you're okay when you know you're not okay.
Trust that gut feeling.
Yes.
Yep.
So again, I know those 3 things are simple as concepts, not always easy to implement.
Yeah, they're great though.
And maybe for my clients, I really try to encourage, like, let's small bites. Let's take a step. Small bites. Doesn't have to be, I have to change everything today. So again, what's one thing we could put energy on to do different? All right, I'm going to honor that every day I'm actually going to take a lunch break, and I'm not going to sit at my computer and shove bites of food in while I'm on email and a conference call. Like, I'm actually going to go sit in my kitchen, in the cafeteria, in my car, outside, wherever. Yeah. And for 15 minutes, I'm actually going to eat a lunch and not multitask.
Yep. Ooh, multitask.
Right?
Yeah. That's all we do.
That's all we do. Yes.
And in a recent conversation, I was trying to think, I was like, we've had smartphones or cell phones of some form for years. Yep. But at what point did we get so attached to them? I don't remember. Because then now I freak out when I can't. Where's my phone? Because it's got, your whole life on it.
Yeah.
I just, don't expect anybody to answer that question. But just when did that happen? It's definitely contributing to the multitasking. Always have to be on, respond to people's texts immediately or emails or whatever. And we don't have to do that. We don't.
It's become an appendage, really. It's become like I have 2 arms and I have a cell phone. So I have, we'll call it 3 arms, right? Like it's an appendage. It's now attached to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's gifts, if you will. Obviously as technology advances, there's gifts. It can make things easier to some degree. Yeah. But we have to always remember that as technology advances, there's downsides too. And yes, now we have this device that bings, 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 and pings, pings, pings all the time, and how it's changing our brains. Yeah. And that need to, again, overperform. We'll have to respond to every text immediately. I have to respond to every message immediately. I need to be on 24/7. That's a disease of the culture. We have created that mindset of now we need to be more available, more accessible. And for a lot of us, it's just bringing us more stress, more overwhelm.
Yep.
And it's keeping the bear chasing us.
It absolutely is. Oh my goodness. Oh, the bear.
Oh, that bear.
Oh, the bear. It's there. He's always there. We need to get rid of him. Is there anything else, I'm sure there is, that we haven't talked about today that you want our listeners to know or think about maybe, and then let us know where we can find you and all those things?
I think one idea that I'd like to leave everyone with today is that there's a different conversation out there surrounding health and especially surrounding food. Mm-hmm. We don't have to play in the model of diet, restrict, deprive. We don't have to constantly feel conflicted around how to care for our bodies. Mm. I also believe we're all individual.
Yeah.
And what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for the other. And there's a level of making peace with that again, of honoring this is what my body needs, or this is how I need to do it. And I need to trust my body.
Yeah.
But again, working in the psychology lens, looking from a curiosity of how am I showing up in life and where are those places I can take some ownership to step back into me. Mm-hmm. Can be a very empowering conversation.
Yeah.
And can also stop so much of the guilt, the shame, the food noise, the overwhelm of right and wrong, good and bad, guilt and shame, diet, restrict, deprive that we've created as a culture.
Yeah, sure.
And again, I have clients who've been dieting for 50 years.
Sure. Yeah.
So how do we make peace with that? How do we let go of the need to diet? And how do we truly find our way with food? And there's a different conversation there. Mm-hmm. So it's a big part of my passion is bringing in this, I'm going to say, different dynamic of, even as a dietitian, sometimes I struggle because I put many clients on different therapeutic diets because they have a health condition.
Sure.
But I think there's still a difference between a therapeutic diet from a point A to point B versus diet, restrict, deprive for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I agree.
And so even in the journey of a therapeutic diet to support someone in getting healthy, I still bring in the psychology side of how do we ultimately make peace with our bodies and peace with our food.
Yeah.
So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, I'm nourishnutritionconsulting.com, and Instagram, it's nourish_nutrition_consulting. Those are places to stay connected with me. I have 3 available spots from now through April for new clients, potentially for an introductory clarity session, and just asking questions of learning, is mind, body, eating a conversation that would be supportive to you in your health journey? And if you want to get more information on those clarity sessions, you can go to apply.nourishnutritiononline.com and get registered there, and we can have a chat and see if the idea of working more in a psychology lens can really help bridge some of the stress and anxiety we're having. For many of my clients who work with me in the psychology lens, we don't even talk about food, and food organically changes naturally as we address some of the underlying stress, confusion, overwhelm. It just naturally starts to change, and it's beautiful. Again, it takes away the you should do this, you shouldn't do that. And again, ultimately learning to make peace with food and body. It's a huge place where my heart is, to just take away that pain, if you will, of the chronic struggle around food and health.
I love that. And I love what you're helping others do and discover and find about themselves. I think it's amazing. And I appreciate your time. It's been a complete pleasure. We must do it again, or have virtual coffee or something and chat health and all the things. But you guys can all find everything that she mentioned in the show notes of this podcast for Instagram, Facebook, her website, all those things. They will all be included. And I had a ball. I could chat with you for hours. Not do that today. But I hope you have a great rest of your day and rest of your week. And we'll be in touch.
Sounds good, Katherine. Thank you so much for your time. It's been just a joy. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Chronic Conversations. I hope you're walking away with a little more clarity, hope, and inspiration for your healing journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love for you to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Every share helps this show reach more women who deserve to feel seen, heard, validated, and supported. And if we're not connected yet, come say hi on Instagram. You'll find me at Reclaimable, RECLAIM.able, ABLE. Plus, you can check out free tools and resources anytime for your wellness journey at Reclaimable, RECLAIM-able.com. And until next time, take care, and here's to thriving well, no matter where you are on your journey.